President Trump hit send on a couple of tweets over the Easter weekend that once again put the future of those so-called DACA kids, the hundreds of thousands of children born here in the United States to illegal immigrants, in serious doubt. Border Patrol agents are not allowed to properly do their job at the border, the president wrote, because of ridiculous liberal Democrat laws like catch and release, getting more dangerous, caravans coming. Republicans must go to a nuclear option to pass tough laws. Now, no more DACA deal. Joining me now to discuss, Michael Caputo and Maria Cardona. Michael, isn't President Trump the one who rescinded DACA last year after a court ruled against what President Obama had done and then refused the Democrats' deal on funding for part of the wall in exchange for a DACA deal?
Well, I think the president, as you know, rescinded the DACA deal. It was to give the Congress a chance to create, immigration law through legislation, not administration. He gave him 6 months to do it. And that was the right way to do it. I mean, immigration policy is most properly formed by the United States Congress, not by, as with President Obama, through Homeland Security. Unfortunately, they were given this opportunity and they squandered it to score political points. I don't think that the president was going to take what they offered when they offered it to him. The president controls the administration. The Republicans are in charge in the House and the Senate, and unfortunately, Congress has been unable to come to some kind of a conclusion on this.
Maria, is it clear to you that the president understands how DACA works? He did say that the big flows of people are trying to take advantage of it, but you obviously can't sign up for DACA anymore.
No, Anderson, this president is not just clueless when it comes to DACA. He is completely clueless when it comes to immigration laws, period. Everything that he tweeted this weekend was just completely untrue. Let's start with what you mentioned, which is DACA. Yes, nobody that comes here today can take advantage of the DACA deal because that is not what is written into the current executive order, number one. Number two, he also cynically calls these caravans of people, making it sound like our country is going to soon be under attack. He even said our country is being stolen. That is a cynical dog whistle to his anti-immigrant base. If he would be at least a little bit curious and want to actually solve the problem, he would know that these quote-unquote caravans of people are actually majority women and children and people that are fleeing poverty and violence and want to come here seeking asylum. And by the way, a third of them are seeking to stay in Mexico with their families. But we know that this is not a president who focuses or cares about the facts.
Michael, I should also point out, I think I misspoke. I said it was for DACA's for kids who were born here, born in the United States. It's obviously kids who were brought here as children through no fault of their own. What do you make of what Maria is saying here about the president's characterization of caravans of people coming? Is that accurate?
Well, I know the caravans are there. They've been reported widely on the media. I think there is reason to be concerned about more illegal immigration and the fact that the Mexican government seems to just let them go right through. I agree with the president that we need enhanced border security, but we also have to fix immigration. I think one of the reasons why immigration is still stymied, still stalled, just like it was in the 8 years of the Obama administration, is because Democrats keep playing politics with it, just like Maria did. I mean, you can't tell me that the president doesn't understand what he did in September. And if you remember on September 5th, the president also said, if Congress doesn't fix this, I will revisit it. That's a September 5th tweet, and I believe he will revisit it. I think the Democrats have to get off their hands and finally do something to permanently fix this problem.
Okay, here's some more facts for you, Michael. The president from day one used these kids as political pawns. Screaming
as have the Democrats.
No, the Democrats never
Absolutely,
screamed.
the Democrats have.
Absolutely,
You've used them as political pawns
Michael,
all along.
I did not interrupt you.
One at a time. Nobody can hear you if you're both talking. So
exactly.
Finish your thought and then we'll go back to Michael.
Thank you. So Democrats never called for the deportation of these kids at their rallies. That is something that Trump did again to rile up his anti-immigrant base. He has never cared about these kids. If he really wanted a legislative solution, he didn't have to end DACA. He could have pushed in good faith both sides to fix this from a legislative standpoint, which we all knew from the beginning is the only way to fix this. But Republicans were the ones who in 2010 did not want to pass the DREAM Act, in 2013 did not want to pass the bill that actually passed the Republican Senate, but a Republican House, and John Boehner was very clear to Obama that he's not going to bring it up on the floor because he could not pass a bill that would not have majority Republican support.
Okay.
So don't talk to me about people who are playing politics with this, because that's the Republicans.
Okay, Michael, I want you to respond.
Well, I'll tell you that we don't have to look any further than Maria to see Democrats playing politics with this issue. As a matter of fact, if this thing ends the way that it looks like it's going to end, DACA will end, abruptly and roughly, and nobody wants to see that happen. If the Democrats don't come to the table with reasonable expectations and compromise in their hearts to fix this thing, they're going to be held responsible for its falling apart as well. The voters want things fixed. Okay, is it your turn to interrupt?
No, go ahead. I'm going to wait till you're done.
Let Michael finish.
I'll go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is, did the Democrats not offer $25 billion for the Republican and Trump's ridiculous border wall that, frankly, even many Republicans don't even think that it is reasonable? But Chuck Schumer offered $25 billion to Trump for his border wall in exchange for citizenship for these kids. He said no. If that is not a good faith effort on behalf of the Democrats on something that they didn't want, then I don't know what is.
The president's reforms for immigration and border security don't just balance on a border wall. He's always talking about chain migration. He was talking about diversity visas and other reforms that are necessary to make our immigration system more effective and to protect our nation. But if you think you can just lay out some kind of an expenditure for a border wall and not get the rest of the reform, that's not the president you're dealing with. Donald Trump wants true reform.
That's not what he talked about. He talked about DACA.
We got to end the conversation there, Maria Cardona. Thank you. And Michael Caputo is a proud son of Buffalo. I want to wish you a very happy Dingus Day.
Happy Dingus Day, Anderson.
Thanks, Anderson.
All right. See you later. The outgoing VA Secretary David Shulkin says he was fired last week. The White House says he resigned. We'll explain why that matters next.